paiN. This is the best map with which to do it. It's Inferno.
That it is. And here we go, paiN starting on CT side, as they're apt to do, since it's never their map pick to get here on Inferno. Bigu is going to be waiting over at Banana, and Nekis went for a little bit of information towards the apartments, might have spotted out some players over at alt mid, but is now backing off to support the A site, and perhaps even further. No, he's going to go to Graveyard, as Team 1 are going to split things up here. A couple of players towards alt mid, 2 towards mid, and 1 charging up Banana only momentarily. Time taken away here, Mike, but paiN will soon have some action.
Hardzao holding for them to come around the corner. Dualies. 2 players on the other side. 2 pistols to deal with them, John. 1 pistol for each player. He's only going to get 1. Call him the singlies. Because he's not getting his pair. Nekis dinked down. Going to have to duck in, and eventually the bullets will find him. There was just no escape there. The Graveyard position only really effective in surprise. And once the position's known, it's pretty darn tough. There are only 4 players out here for the team. Next to Dot on the radar, but Pisa might as well be 2 men at once. He's mowing them down. They're all falling apart. And while he will lose his life, it's just PKL who's making all this noise, doing all this damage. Without the kid, he could retrieve one. This becomes a lot more viable. Now with that kid on his belt, he's got to go quick if he's going to do it. Seeing some hesitancy here. Knew that the player was in apartments. Didn't want to chase. And at this point, he's out of time. He's out of chances. And he's going to lose his life to Maluk, his counterpart on the other side. The pistol got himself. Maluk takes that one through. And that's going to be Team 1 with the 1-0.
Yeah, good execute by Team 1. Isolated the players with some great utility usage of the limited utility they had in that pistol round. And, well, once they took that A site, there was no taking it back for paiN as they go down 0-1 here. And PKL, actually, who gets 2 frags in that round, has been very effective for them in terms of frags recently. Not only is he doing well with the utility, right? So maybe he'll be able to come out and contribute here on Inferno once more. I believe he was the top frag here recently. Yes, he was against the Gaming Gladiators map they lost. He had 25 frags and a 91.9 ADR. Hopefully for his sake, he will be able to put up those numbers, and paiN will be able to come out with a win. Neck is going to see some action here. Gets the headshot onto IDK. Could get a second as well, but no. TRK trades him out and now finds the second onto Nithon, so that's going to help immensely. Only Hardzao left here. He's at our side. Will be flanked eventually, and there's Maluk finding that.
A little bold from Maluk to go through the smoke, but it does work out beautifully. Scout's not watching, players isolated, and the round is basically over. So Team 1 going to get the 2-0 here. I do feel like, John, generally speaking, Team 1 is a pretty phenomenal team at the pistol conversions. It's one of their big strengths, I would say.
No, I would agree, right? I think Team 1 are that type of stable team that definitely doesn't make mistakes when it comes after their pistol rounds on their anti-ecos. They're very methodical. They're not often going to overly rush things, especially when they're going for their executes. So I really do appreciate that from them. There's no doubt.
Yeah. I do like to see it. It does give you a really nice base to build from in these rounds. There's a fair chunk to save here for paiN, right? Obviously, they got full armor, head armor even, which you don't see a lot of teams invest into in these kind of rounds. You got 2 smokes, a flash, an SMG. There's a lot of kit to bring through. Problem is, you can't really put anything around it. So, not the most effective kit when it's all on its lonesome. Well, let's see if they can get anything done with these 2 guns. We're going to spread the util out, at least give Nekis one of those smokes to work with. What do they do with it? SMG over towards B. It is its most likely to be effective position, but provided they don't go into it, it's going to be both armored players. Not a bad setup for paiN. If they hit, there's some chance to make some resistance. If they don't, there's a pretty good chance to save.
Yeah, I think they're about to gamble for a B stack, maybe? No, they're going to keep 3 players Arch and 2 over at Banana. I like it because they have the MP9 towards Banana, and, well, Pesa takes care of him immediately. That means Big is extremely isolated. He's trying to jump up onto second oranges here, and he survives at least, but won't get the back. Pesa takes him down, and that's the B side.
Oh, that was ugly. Caught in transition, caught out. Aim was hog wild. That is distinctly not going to be the round for paiN Gaming. Not just 3 unarmored pistols who will try and get some exit frags, and there's one. Okay, spamming the smoke. Hardzao comes up with gold. To buy a lotto ticket, Hards out. I think that's probably going to be the only one that hits here. Much like in most real-world gambling, House does always win. And House appears to be winning here. Hardzow, another? He slipped by the sandbags and Pace. I had no idea. Nekis has done another. Okay, all right. Never mind. They're gambling, man. They're playing the odds, and it's working out quite beautifully. Hardzow has a rifle. Oh, if he drops TRK, this round gets so ridiculously costly for Team 1.
Yeah, that was a great effort by paiN, Mike. You're talking about them only getting one, but afterwards they managed to scrounge together 2 more frags, and even if it's just 2 more, right, and doesn't end up being the 4th, it's still costly for them. TRK is funneling the money through into their pockets, though still has 8K to himself and actually drops weaponry over, so it will be a full-on buy regardless. But yeah, I mean, it's rings for the 5 players down to nearly the 2K marks. This is an important round for paiN, as they do have the rifles up for the first time, but Pesa boosted over the smoke and the half wall, takes down Big Uzera. Quick 5v4, could be a response here, and it is. PKL up to the task. Will toss a smoke afterwards to slow down the pace here for Team 1 and wait for some reinforcements to arrive, which they just have. Hardzow at his flank will toss a nade on forward, and IDK repositioned at the perfect moment, because if he didn't, I think those nades would have done him in.
Nick is in the graveyard. This is the position he played in the pistol. Not very effective. Then he'll go one done here. Spray not quite on. Means he has to dive back in for a second dip, and at that point, his life is compromised. It's a good trade from XNS to keep the numbers even, but it's going to be this AWP that they really do have to get past. A Nithon will not miss. One right between the eyes, and that's going to be the A site secured, but the problem is, well, they left B completely open, and IDK has just welcomed himself straight on in. There's no cross smoke, though. The bomb's going to have to cross. This could get cheeky. This could get cheeky. Does Maluk get caught? Does PKL check it? He does now, but Maluk's on the angle, and he's passing to the pool. I don't even know if he was seen there. They're calling for the rotation, so I believe he was, but the bomb's going to go down. This deep position is going to be held, and this is a pretty prime post plant for Team 1 to play. There's not a lot of util either. A single flashbang to get back into this for paiN Gaming. This is a really tough retake now. The AWP should be able to hold the court just fine.
Yeah, Maluk's going to come around this corner, and he can't hit the shot that opens up the space that paiN need to get back into this bomb site. IDK needs to hit everything, and he finds one onto Hardzow. Nade flies through, does a little bit of damage, tickling PKL, who will come around and finds a bullet to the dome. IDK stands on his head, takes care of business, and makes up for that missed shot by Maluk to ensure Team 1 find a 4th.
What was that flick from IDK? Yeah. From our perspective, it didn't even look like he was in the same zip code, and that one hits. Nicely done there.
Mike, I really admire that play from Team 1, right? They bait paiN into thinking it's going to be an A hit, and then afterwards force all the attention onto A. paiN gambled and ended up losing that gamble in a very big way because the B site was free and clear for the taking. I mean, if paiN left one on B, though, they would have probably had Team 1 dead to rights, because the way Team 1 were spread across the map, it's 3 1v1s, and it just didn't happen, only because paiN had no defenders on B.
To be fair, this is part of what we talked about as being the issue for paiN. A little readable, a little predictable, a little stale. This round, they've just got the AWP. They're going to invest an SMG around it. Bit of pistols. Obviously, everyone will keep their money around the 2K mark, so they should be fine. Loss bonus having been fully built up and all that. They got a lot of smokes to squeeze off these choke points, but I'd like to see them do something to try and enable that AWP early. And, well, there's going to be a peek down mid. But that's about it. He's not even going for the full Monty, just hoping for a player to come up bench, and they actually did test it, but as I say that, Nithon backs away. Here's the swing. CZ goes one and done, and they're going to set up in the Halls. Halls is not the right spot. Top brackets control having been secured. Team 1 don't have to action on this just yet. Though leaving the bomb solo dolo is a bit cheeky. And they're actually not going to leave anyone here at all. They're going to exert the presence, and they're going to back away. This top banana setup could actually be deadly as they come around to clear, especially if it's the AWP that takes point. That can't be done, so it'll be a rifle instead. One sandbags, one just behind the half wall, and there's the first strike. Do they expect the second as well? Well, okay, XNS does choose through both. No problem there. And with that, he has opened up the promised land of B.
Yeah, XNS, who has been a bit up and down and consistent over the last... Oh, wait, hold on a second. Nekis Almost spots out one. He managed to upgrade to the AK here. Tapping away. Finds the head of paiN. 2v2. I'll get back to that afterwards.
Feels like they're playing headshots only at this point. Here comes XNS, going to have to defend. He's not got the health. He's already got 3 kills, though. Maluk does have the AWP, but he'd like his teammate to take first contact and take some of the heat off of him. There's plenty of time to work this for paiN. But they can't afford to lose the casualties. If they go down to a 1v2, it's a really tough crossfire to deal with without the util, and that's exactly what's going to happen. It's all on the Ithon. He knows where Maluk is, but he still hasn't seen the rifler. And now he knows, but he just doesn't have time. He doesn't have time, John, and he's stuck out. There's no escape here. This op is not making it out. They'll keep him here, even just to let him go up with the bomb. And though he gets the kills, he will not survive this round.
Nice kills at the very least for Niathon, but yeah, he doesn't survive. He will go down, and Team 1 take another one too. They're named 5-0. At least paiN are keeping their economy honest by making a lot of these rounds close. But yeah, that time it's XNS coming out with a couple of very nice entries. In fact, all 3 frags in the early goings went to him. And what I was going to mention was he was their top entry fragger until the last month when things started to slip a little bit for him. Killed that differential falling to -8, and Maluk taking over as top entry fragger, at least the top opener in rounds with 21% of the time going for it. paiN gets the opener onto Niathon, though. That is a little ill-advised for not to stick around for so long, but Hardzao gets the 2K right afterwards to restore a man advantage for paiN. 4v3 as TRK works his way out to the A site. 2 players, in fact, they have not closed this down well enough, Mike. paiN is on the outside looking in, and TRK gets the headshot on Hardzao. They don't have enough presence here, and a bomb plant is assured.
All but. Bomb now down, smoke still up. This SMG, though, from XNS is a little bit out on an island. 2 players coming back through. They're going to catch them on the smoke. Fade, no!
Oh, wow.
Nekis responds in time, and this should be all right now. It's just going to be to TRK. He is a monster. He's had a great game so far, 7-2. Let's see if he can add to his tally. This 1v3 would be one for the books. Pushing to the corner by the Molotov. They should know where he's at. Now they certainly do. And that's going to be PKL bringing the Hurton to finally get paiN on the board. The op can be retrieved as well. So economically, they're going to be okay. And Nekis, are they going to play the double up? Or did he just specifically want Maluk's? No, he just wanted Maluk's.
He just wanted Maluk's.
Well, when he went for the second op, right, he identifies the first, he goes for the second. I thought he might be calling to his teammate, hey, come get Niathon's op. But no,
right.
he just likes the skin. And who can blame him?
It's a nice skin. I mean, it's an op boom, man. One of the originals, the OG skins from one of the first 2 cases. So you got to go for it.
I bet Maluk's had it since the first case.
It's possible. I
bet
think
he
it was the
unboxed it.
esports case, the first esports case. It doesn't exist anymore, but
I bet you he unboxed it.
probably.
We should ask him sometime, because that is sort of his iconic gun. Oh, we're doing some math here. Calculating. Production's figuring out exactly when Maluk would have needed to buy that AWP or unbox it, what his odds would have been. Either way, that is good for paiN to get on the board. But John, let's be real here.
Yeah,
they got a little fortunate in that one.
Oh, yeah, they did. Absolutely. paiN won despite of the mistakes they made in that round because they left A site free and clear for the taking. Such a huge gap. You can't leave apartments completely open like that and have no one watching at all from either pit or library. And that was the case. They managed to work their way back in, but it was not an assured victory. As we mentioned, the bomb plant came through. Team 1 had some decent positioning. If you don't get that frag on XNS through the smoke, you're in for a lot of trouble. Now Nekis, who did do well on balcony last time for this position, gets another frag off of it. XNS this time his victim. Good crossfire setup, but it doesn't yield another frag. TRK and paiN get a couple. Niathon comes back to even up the numbers and then finally gets himself a second. But look at this. They fall apart on the attempted rotation. paiN and IDK get a couple more, and it's all up to Bigu. paiN just look lost.
It just feels like they're playing Inferno by the numbers, right?
Yeah.
Like it really does. I like what Nekis did there for the first kill. But then he just immediately falls into the preordained position. And they know he's there. They know he's there because they know how Nekis likes to play that balcony. There's enough film out there that once you've seen it in the first position, you can just kind of assume it. So, that's just interesting. I don't know what the exact solution is. It almost feels like the solution for paiN might be throwing the scrapbook out the window. A nice round for Team 1, though. An immediate answer back. And once again, paiN CT side is in dire straits. The economy's not going to be good. They've got some money. They could probably justify a force here. Or at least a pretty meaty half buy. But it's not going to be perfect. And Team 1 is running roughshod over them.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive on their part. I mean, just some great entries, some very quick executes as well on Team One's part. They're really not taking their foot off the gas pedal very often, not going for the patient plays, and paiN Gaming's having a really tough time adapting to it. And here you're going to see a rough buy-up. BKL still has the A1S, but Hard's out on the MP9, and everyone else on 2 pistols. But yes, Mike.
Oh, I was just going to say, the other thing that's odd right now, at least, and in that last round, obviously he did hit a bit, but Nithon has had a couple misses. Couple big misses that you really don't want to see from your AWP early on. I would like to see him start to get activated. I think that if he does, it'll add an extra dimension here. Nithon going to go for a little bit of a cheeky deep play in the apartments. I like that. I like that. Get weird with it. Get aggressive. Take him off the leash. At least in these rounds where you have a low percentage chance of winning in the first place, let him go try and do something wild and see if he can't get that nutty shot to build the confidence up.
I think in general, just try something different, right? On Inferno, and they Hard's out.
There we go.
Peeks aggressively towards mid and takes down XNS to make it a 5v4.
They did that once a couple rounds ago, also to some degree of success, but now the hit's going to come towards B, and that's where they'd like it to go. They got Hard's out coming in to reinforce. They've got the M4 on site. The A1S is poised. I got Big Uzera around the corner. Dale collects the first. There's the swing back in. This is working beautifully now. They've sprung the trap, and this is going to be paiN Gaming almost assuredly taking the round. Maluk just wants to get away. He's got the AWP, and now the question is, does he try and save the op, or does he try and hide it somewhere where they won't find it? No reason to gift the biggest gun in the game over to your opponents for free. He's at least going to make them fight for it, and they are going to challenge. They are going to fight. 35 seconds on the clock. They want this gun out of his hands, and they want it in their back pockets. Nice shot. Needs more. Here comes Nithon. There's the flash. There's the rifles. Oh, the double swing is good. Nithon will get his precious AWP, and the upgrade available as paiN find their second.
Yeah, good trade coming through from paiN, but Maluk proving to be quite a tough customer to take down as he finds 2 before being dropped. So that hurts the economy. That wasn't even built up much at all for paiN Gaming already, but they were on a half buy in that case. So it wasn't too bad as they'll fully upgrade here. 4 A1Ss and the big green for Nithon that was picked up off the ground in that previous round. But yeah, I mean, you see how good Maluk is there. He is actually, as I was trying to mention earlier, opening up the rounds more often than not here for this team run roster over the last month. 59.2% success rate, and he's trying for those entries or openers 23.1% of the time. Let's see if he can continue to do so here in a round that won't feature too much for Team 1. Just the 4 Tech 9s and the P250, largely in part thanks to, as we were mentioning, paiN Gaming keeping every round close despite the scoreline being a little lopsided right now.
Bang out, but it catches themselves. But Pesa, what is that? With just a Tech 9, he tears them asunder, and Nithon, his shots go wide. There's one. He's looking for more, but he's overwhelmed. Big Uzera's putting in work on the site, though, and he has torn them apart. 2 big kills. Do enough. It's just XNS in the pit with a Tech 9. This got so very dangerous, but it seems like they might have taken the venom out of the round. See what XNS can do. If he can finish this off, his teammates have done so much. Pesa with 2 huge kills. But now it's all on just this man. XNS creeping forward. That bomb dropped in the graveyard. He'll need to take these kills to realistically be able to get it. And he's not quite going to find the first. That was a headshot. Needed just one more tap anywhere on the body, and PKL would have been done for.
Whoa, that was way too close for comfort for paiN. They do recover the big green and get that back into Nithon's hands, so that should assure a proper buy-up here. Hard's out settling for the MP9, realizing that Team 1 will likely be a little light in terms of what they bring into this, and they absolutely are. It's going to be 2 P250s and 3 Glocks, but man, oh man, that round got so very close. Pesa with the 2 Tech 9 frags. It cannot be understated how important those 2 frags were from Bigu, because his opper was being overloaded and ended up going down as he found them. Now Hard's out going to farm some money, some cash money, 1,800. Nithon gets a Molotov frag on Maluk and likely steals what would have been an ace here for Hard's out, unless Pesa goes down to someone else. But yep, he stole the ace. It doesn't matter though. paiN went the round cleanly, and Hard's out collects a cool 2,400.
There we go. Money printing machine in action here. The bank account built up. See if it keeps the SMG. Looks like he will, at least initially. And paiN Gaming doing a good job recovering into this game.
Yeah.
Getting their feet under them. And admittedly, the more stable kind of CS that they do like to play looks a lot better when you actually have util to do something, right?
Yeah.
When you have the nades to set up, to defend your sites, when you're not just waiting for them to come in and you got nothing to slow them down, it gets a lot easier. And here we go. Nython. Looking for a little spicy here. I like this. I like this. Let Nython go forth and make it happen. Now the question is he bold enough to go for the full peek out? No, not quite. But Netgears from the boiler will catch two. That's what we like to see. He doesn't get away, but Nython's there for the last, and now he should be able to hold court in apartments. They're not getting past him for sure. And Hardtown can slip into the site itself and hold court. It's all on the pace of Dalo. It's not going to happen, and Nython will get his second kill of the round. I love that look from paiN.
Yeah, I love that position from Nython as well. Just, it wasn't expected at all. Malou came around that corner just like a deer in headlights, didn't even see what came towards his way. Great shot from Nython in position. The thing is, part of that reason why Nikiz gets that 2K is because Pesa threw a flashbang that blinded his own teammates. And, well, I mean, Pesa's throwing a lot of flashbangs for Team 1 over the last month. 0.80 flashbangs thrown per round, but only 0.02 flash assists per round, which is quite low. So I think what's happening is, yes, he's throwing a lot, but they're not as efficient as they could be, and I think we're seeing there a reason why. It just has to be a little more careful with their placement. PKL going to go down XNS, and then he gets a second. XNS with the pistols this time has opened up Banana completely, and Pesa pinches in once more with the tech and picks up the AK to drop Nekiz. What a disastrous round here for paiN. Not a single frag to their name, and Nython is isolated at the B site. Wow, nutty shots though from Team 1.
Absolutely insane pistol work from Team 1. Not to discredit them, but for paiN Gaming, this was your chance to make this a good half, and instead, they're going to see it slip through their fingers. They're going to see themselves on the back foot again. They're going to see Team 1 right back into the fight, and possibly with an eye on full salvaged buy, right? Nobody has dropped yet. They've got 4 rifles in hand that they did not start this round with. They did not start this round with a single one. They might just be walking away with all of them. Pressure on and chasing this down, and they're going to get the kill as well. They want the op. They've got the op. There we go. Team 1 on for 7.
Well, XNS again with the entries, this time with 2 wicked deagle headshots, and Pesa afterwards picks up where he left off with that Tech 9 to help out his teammates, and Team 1 steal one for all intents and purposes from Team 1 to get their 7th on the board. And as you mentioned, 4 of the 5 rifles they brought into this one were carried over off the bodies of paiN's. Their economy has been bolstered, completely restored to its former glory. And now Team 1, I mean, it's been the quick plays, right, that have been very difficult for paiN to adjust to, and they went right back to it there to Team 1.
This is interesting. 4 players going to start to stack towards A. It's very soft on the B side. It's just PKL. And he's not even got a Molotov. He's got smoke. That's something, but they can flash through a smoke. And with their cross smoke down, they just might. No one's on site. If they flash through this, oh, they're not going to call the bluff. paiN Gaming getting away with robbery there.
Very lucky.
That's the you know, the scene where you've got the character coming down the hall and the bad guys see their shadow and they're all scared, and then it comes around the corner, just a tiny little guy. That's exactly what just happened there. PKL put up a very intimidating shadow. Netgears now going to collect 1, and this is going to get a lot worse for Team 1. They didn't call the bluff, and they may have missed their opportunity for an easy take of a site. Instead, they've got top brackets control, but there's 3 players bunched up in towards A, and they are well ready to receive some fun. I will say, though, no arch presence is again a bit of a gamble here from paiN. Fortunately,
luckily,
yeah, they're not going to be checked on it.
Exactly. Team 1 come in here. XNS going to get 1 hearts out right there to return the favor, and so is Nekiz to drop XNS. And only 2 players left standing with 13 seconds left. It's too tough here for Team 1 to claw back. Nekiz finds himself at 3K on the round, and Pesa is just going to tuck tail and get the heck out of here. Try to bring this A1S into the next round, but good hold by paiN. A couple of lucky gambles, right? The first one, only putting 1 player on the B site, smoking off Banana, and it worked. It forced Team 1 back. Like you mentioned, Mike, very good analogy, and just a big shadow from a very little little object there onto the B site. Nicely done there for paiN Gaming. And then the second one, no arch presence. I mean, that could have bit them in the rear end, but it didn't end up happening. And well, good job from paiN, at least predicting how Team One would play it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Made a gamble for sure, and it did pay off. This nade could be chunky. Is it? No. Disappointing banana nades.
Can't predict nades, right?
My greatest foe. You can only predict nade probability. You can like say with 60% confidence that a nade's gonna be chunky. Maluk is down. He went for a peek, but it turns out the only damage from that on the paiN Gaming side was PKL putting a bullet in the Big Oo's shoulder. Oh, Neki's just gone aggressive out of the apartments as well. He's got so much space, they have no idea. That's a spot. That's a spot.
This is two.
PRK's gotten one. There's the second as well. Nekiz with the return made a bold move, slipped on out, and they were not prepared in the slightest. A 2v4 now for Team One. No positioning, really. They have to even fight just for mid and alt mid to even have a chance to do something this round. And there's only 45 seconds left to go here, John.
Yeah, I want to see more of that. More of that aggression. Nithon did it a few rounds ago, and this time it's Nekiz going all the way through alt mid on the flank at mid and finds himself the easiest 2K of the match for him so far, no question. paiN and IDK are going to try and come through here to the B site. 27 seconds left on the clock for them, and PKL is tucked into the corner here. Quite exposed. He's got support from Coffins, but that's gone. paiN drops him, and he knows PKL's here, but PKL's up to the task of at least one. But he does get traded. This time it's going to mean a bomb plant comes through here, and perhaps a clutch for IDK is in the cards.
It's on deck, the newest member of Team One, or the oldest. I think maybe. But he has returned, and he's ready to pull off something magical here. Nekiz and Hardzal working in together. You got a smoke, they got a flash. There's nothing to really clear out this position, though, but they could get a smoke on towards that bomb. IDK hasn't been spotted just yet. They seem to have a pretty good idea of where he might be playing from. Nekiz going creeping around, and Hardzal was posted. I don't know whether they saw an elbow coming around the corner, but they seem to read him just fine. And that will be paiN finding at a minimum the 7th. Final round of the half. One of these sides will be walking away with a slim advantage. I'd say whichever way this shakes out, great first half for Team One, but an impressive recovery for paiN here, John.
Absolutely, and we've seen them mix in that aggression really, really well. The one thing they have to be careful of, which I think they got caught off on a couple of times, when you go for that aggression, you can't leave too many holes in your defensive on the defensive end, and they did a couple of times. But that time, they get the frags. Nekiz finds them, doesn't go for anything else, backs towards the A site, and ensures that Team One don't have an easy path anywhere on Inferno. So, 15th and final round of play here in this first half of action, and a fantastic recovery from paiN, right? It was 6-1 for Team One at one point, but paiN have pulled it back, tied this one up at 7-7. Big U waiting with the op here. G side gets the first shot off, but doesn't find the frag. That's a great shot from paiN. PKL's overloaded too. Uh-oh.
They go high, they go low, and they get 2 kills. That's going to be the bomb down and planted. A 3-on-5 retake with full banana control here for Team One. This is great positioning for them. They've got the angle as well. IDK's got a freebie just through his patience. And now with Hardzal down, Nekiz and Nithon attempting this retake. It's dire. They've got the util for it, but they need to start to get the kills. They can get position for it. Nicely done from Nekiz. Oh, he's out of bullets, but he's trying so much to bring his team back through. His movement is great. He's baiting out the shots, and he knows he has X and S jet in the corner. Somehow this is doable. They've got no time, so they have to go. They have to go now as PRK wants to deny. There it is. It's all over. That's going to send us through to the halftime break. Oh.
I quickly snapped it out. It don't belong here on the wrong side of town. Good luck picking me up. Say your prayers, I'll let you down.
lead for Team 1 as they head over to their CT side, and paiN Gaming, despite a comeback, couldn't get it kicked off in time for the full recovery. Now, they're going to have to do it all on the attacking half here. John, how are you feeling about the prospects? Oh, they're quick. And never mind. We'll talk about it in a second. They're straight to the B site, and that's paiN already down. This is a quick on hit. And while it has been traded, they still want to press through, and IDK is going to have to stand strong. Player in the pool, he's being overwhelmed. This player's all over, and eventually they will take the fight to him. Now with 2 more, this is now a pretty prime post-plant scenario. Back to you, John.
Yeah, no, I was going to say that I think paiN are going to be a lot more comfortable on their T sides. Not a sure thing just yet. They have to find at least 1 more to increase the odds considerably. And XS manages to slip away and comes around for a frag onto Nekiz. Does end up being the last one standing, though. They do get the important one onto TRK, and now XNS just going to try and slip on through. Can he get this? Well, it seems ever more unlikely as the seconds tick away onto this bomb. And yeah, it is going to be paiN taking this round and tying things up at 8. Mike, I have to say, I do like their chances a lot more here onto their T side. The fact they got 7 rounds on CT side is actually really good for paiN on Inferno. And now they get to focus more on their bread and butter, which is some aggressive style Counter-Strike where they do manage to overload their opponents with some very smart rotations and strategies on their T side. Something I admired from Team 1, though, is that they kept the pedal to the metal in that first half. Very quick rounds. Really got into paiN Gaming's face, and that's why they were able to come out with that 8-7 lead.
Early tag here.
Yeah.
Hides out low off of that one as his arm's just been taken off below the elbow. That was a meaty scout shot. The nade gonna connect? Not really, but the deagle shot certainly did. It's just a little bit of softening early on. Obviously, the more you can do in that department, the better it'll be for the Deegs. That's why you've seen the emphasis on the HEs here from Team 1. And they've still got 2 to bring to bear. One of them's over by Arch. Where's Maluk? He's got his. Timing's not great. Timing is not great, unfortunately, for that. There are 2 players. They're chilling in the open.
Oh,
you can't stick around that long. Just out in the open with no cover. And Maluk will punish. PKL down for the count on that one. There's still a player here. There's still Nython threatening. But if he drops... it's a rifle that can then be retrieved. This is getting very risky if you're paiN. And they still don't really have that much to show for it. They have top banana, so they're going to head back in towards B.
The hesitation.
Smoke's going to come in. Are they going to go through it? They got no time.
I'm not. They're really running the time down here, and they don't have much space gained, so they just have to charge on through here at this point because they have to try for something. Bigu and Nekiz are going to come through. Nekiz has to get an opener here, and he does, and Nython follows up on paiN. Huge kills coming through from those 2, and that means paiN finds this site and avert, for the time being, disaster. But Nekiz and Hearts are still on notice,
the HE?
so they could go down. There is no HE. Oh, there is an HE.
XNS has one. Where does it go? Where does it go? Oh, no! He chose one of the healthy players. Nython will survive. There were 2 players who were limping. Nython just makes it through with 15 points of health. If that had found Nekiz or Hardzao, this could have been a retake that was on. Instead, they're going to go ahead and save. When the smoke fades, though, Maluk could feast. He's not going to find the first. There's still a player here. But Maluk, wanting to save his own gun, will back away. So paiN Gaming, I think, are going to get away with one here. In terms of the damage that's been done, that could have gone awry a few different ways. And instead, they'll escape with the 9th round.
Very, very close one for paiN. And you're seeing the hesitation, the lack of confidence for them on this map was on full display there. They were rotating back and forth, trying to decide where do we go, where do we find the space. And at the end of the day, all they had was banana control. And they said, you know what, let's just go for this B hit. And luckily for them, their shots were on point, and both players went down on the Team 1 side without dealing much damage in return. Now Team 1 are going to be on another eco round here, a Deagle, a 5-7, and a Scout for Maluk, but that's pretty much it for the firepower on there. And Bigu finds the dome of XNS and opens up a little bit of space towards top mid.
Certainly a nice start to this one. None of those vulnerabilities shown, but look at the stack coming through from Team 1. Heavy towards the Arch side. A swing out for TRK, and that's nothing. At this point, your ability to how much impact is being stripped away. The 2 sets of armor, down. In the dirt. Mudded. It's just going to have to be the scout. here. Otherwise, it's USPs, right?
Yeah, and I mean, the scout's just hanging around the A site and hit's going to B, so it's just one USP there. That's IDK trying to be cheeky in the smoke,
What?
and he's going to wait it out. I mean, yeah.
I understand. He's hoping someone maybe goes through into tree and he hears that or something. Because obviously, what's your percentage on actually making this work? He's going to get re-smoked, so he better be even more patient. And Hearts Out just decides, you know what? We haven't seen anyone on site. I bet he's sitting in it. And he's absolutely correct. Okay. God, Maluk with a scout is fun to watch.
He's one of the better scouters, I would say, in Challenger League, right?
Yeah, absolutely. A scope in this man's hand. He is dynamic. Whew. PKL down. Let's see if Maluk can make this expensive. One more found would be nice. He goes for the rifle. And that's going to be a shot in the back. Either way, he was going to be dead to Nick. His question was just if he could find one more before that came to pass. Either way, it is paiN Gaming to be the first to secure double digits.
Yeah, good on paiN again. At the end of the round, they did lose a couple of bodies, but throughout the majority of it, they were in control. They took care of business. Team 1 didn't really threaten, and you saw IDK try to be cheeky with the USP. It didn't work out at all. In fact, it was worst case scenario for him as he gets spammed down through the smoke before he can even execute what was going through his mind. And well, paiN, as you mentioned, the first to hit double digits, and paiSa gets spotted out now, but he also gets the information himself. I think his bullet connected with that nade. I'm not sure if it changed the trajectory at all, but it landed right at his feet. And he goes down to 75, but Hardzal, the one who's worse for wear here, down to 33 HP due to that utility battle. 123 on the clock, and paiN Gaming look to be taking the space over at Boiler, but Maluk denies Nekiz with an off bullet right to the chest and a 5v4 in favor of Team 1, while the utility continues to rain on in. They're trying to attract a lot of attention on Team 1 towards this A site, and I mean, it's working. You got 3 players towards lane.
Smoke in here. It's going to deny knife on what he was looking for, hoping to catch a rotator in motion. But Team 1's wise to that particular game. It's interesting. No one was really prepared to go in with Nekiz, right? So he was trying to take that space towards top brackets, but if he goes down, they didn't really necessarily have a plan B. They had a player behind him, but they didn't seem willing to commit. And instead, they will be funneling in towards B. Team 1 very passive in this hold. They'll start to float TRK back over, and he has a Molotov. So with 35 seconds on the clock, is there a smoke for this molly? Yes, there is. Provided they don't commit both smokes to this take, they should be all right. 1 smoke out, 2 smokes out. Never mind. They're in trouble. Is that molly going to come in from TRK? It should. It does indeed, and they are stuck. 20 seconds, and they can't go forward. They are absolutely log jammed here, and with 10 seconds on the clock, they're going to be rolling into this site. They need to get the spawn planted. They need all these kills to work out for them, and paiSa just chilling in the back corner. Has the insurance policy. He's denied it. He's won them the round, and to make it one better, he'll get all 4.
Oh my goodness, the third 3K over the last month, third 4K over the last month for paiSa, and wow, was that a patient play. Comes through, hits the perfect spray transfer afterwards, and then puts the cherry on top with the final frag. paiN Gaming denied by a fantastic play, and now Team 1 have closed the gap to only 1 once more. Nade's going to fly on through here. Something that's interesting, Mike, that I've noted is that usually when you see a team that tends to be considered the underdog, they're the ones that go for the slower pace of play on the T side, but it just goes to show you, 1, how much confidence Team 1 has right now, because they didn't play it slow at all on their T side. They had a very torrid pace to it, and 2, how lacking in confidence paiN are, because they are taking their time, they're rotating, they don't really have commitment to either side or confidence on their takes.
I mean, in this map in particular, I struggle to say paiN are the favorites. We've just seen too many stumbles from them on Inferno. It'll be a completely different ballgame when we get to map 2. It should be, hopefully, if you're a paiN fan. Hopefully. Fingers crossed, because it hasn't always been the case. But it should be on Ancient. But here, there's so many vulnerabilities. I mean, even in that round, right? Obviously, paiSa getting a 4K is not super cool, but he didn't need to. He only needed to kill 1. If he kills the bomb planter, it's highly unlikely that they're going to be able to get that bomb down in time. The Molotov from TRK, I think it was, who just held on to that until late. It was just beautifully done. Nekiz, that's a huge kill. That's going to keep them focused here on A. That's going to keep 2 players here, but he's been spotted. He's still going to get it. What a turnaround for Nekiz. He's been such a nightmare for them to deal with. He's been a huge bright spot for this team. 17 and 6. I think he's actually got more kills than that. I think he did reconnect to the server. So he's actually rocking a much higher scoreline than Malou. Bring back one a second as well. He's lightning with that ult, but he doesn't realize that Netkeys is out so far. So Netkeys finds his third of the round, and with it, the round in general, as Team 1 fall back into a save.
Oh my goodness, Painter. Lucky they got that trade on to Maluk because it felt like he was going to hit every single shot if he had another opportunity there. Whoo, boy, he is on fire right now for Team 1. But paiN, at the end of the day, will win the round 11-9 in their favor. And I did like the rotation that they pulled off, regardless of the fact that Maluk was standing on his head in the A site defense, because they convinced Team 1 that they were going to go to the B site. Great utility usage. They built off of the 2 entry frags that Nikiz found, and pretty much put Team 1 threw them for a loop. But again, Maluk was solid and almost made this round viable.
John, if I'm not mistaken, I've just gone out and checked the ticker. I believe Netkeys has 25 kills as of this round.
That's very possible, yes.
25 and 12, I think, is his scoreline.
You know,
that's pretty bonkers.
It's funny because I was looking at Nikiz and overall and his stats. I'm saying there's a bit of a struggle going on for him as of late, right? And he wasn't necessarily performing at the level that we usually expect from him. But man, he's answered all the doubts I could have had here with this type of performance, right? He's just so capable.
Well, I think sometimes he's a bit of a boom or bust player in that. Oh my goodness, Nithon. Oh, that's a bit of a blunder here for Team 1, right? Because Nithon, so the crosshair actually got obscured by TRK going forward, and IDK did not spot the player in time, and instead Nithon gets that kill, and there is no chance for the trade. So a really nice start here for paiN. And they're going to take the pressure right up Banana as well. Peace. Backpedaling already. The utility is garbage for Team 1 at this point. They've got nothing. They've got nothing. They're going to have to shoot their way out of this, and Pace is the only one with a real gun. Otherwise, it's Maluk with a USP. So this one should be a world of hurt here, but so we'll collect the first in the pool. He had a 4K here before. This time they know where he's at. He's going to get a second at the least. He knows they're coming on top. Pace up for 3. Oh, my goodness. Still not easy for IDK, but it is at least possible. Does he really want to challenge us with 14 points now? He's going to! Oh, and he gets it! He's brought down to the 1v1, and he slips away. Nithon, too slow to react. A USP on the committed. Oh, he's just going to do it again. He's just going to do it again. He's got it again! IDK with a USP! Poking through the middle smoke. And he finds 2. What a round. Pesa, the turret in defense, and then IDK to take it over the line.
I mean, look, the wherewithal with an op on your back to say the USP is going to win me this, not the big green, is just absolutely insane from IDK. He gets the first one after tapping away again and again, finally finds that killing blow. And afterwards, like you said, just a little too slow. Trying to go for the trade was Nithon, and he falls after to the USP again, which is crazy. Not even a thought in IDK's mind to go to the sniper rifle. He immediately jumps out with the pistol once more. That's a tough loss for paiN. And I was going to say, I figured they were going to win the round the way things were going, but every round they have won has been very tightly contested, aside from the one where it was just an anti-eco and they shut down Team 1. So, boy, like this is anything but an assured victory for paiN. Even though it looked like they were headed to a 3-round lead, it's now been cut down to 1 again.
That's a backbreaker. That's an absolute gut punch of a round to lose. It's a shot in the arm for the economy of Team 1. Now they've got all the utility, right? Before they were limited. They had pistols. They had no nades. They had nothing to hold them at bay, and we've seen paiN Gaming struggle when those late mollies, when those late smokes are available for the CT side, and now they are once more. 2 mollies going to be burned early. Establish some banana control, and they don't actually follow it up, so that's interesting. Team 1 not getting a lot of bang for their buck in the early nades on B. But Pace has gone back to refill the coffers. Picking up some nades and spawn to bring them to bear. Still a minute 20 on the clock. And this time paiN Gaming are accelerating their approach towards banana, at least to take this top banana control. They don't want to get caught out by the clock again.
It's not even the entries that have been a problem for paiN. They've actually been doing a great job of getting onto the bomb sites. It's the post plants and the mid rounds that have really been doing them in.
That molly comes in. Minute. We'll push them back off this top banana. They'll have to re-clear it. And at this point, they've only got 3 smokes, John. It's going to be pretty limited in the toolkit. A boost up to try and get something in terms of that opening kill. But instead, what neck is the double man setup, but it works out beautifully. He trades his life, but that might just have secured the round. There should be a save already for Team 1. It's certainly a bomb plant for paiN, and there's not much that they can do about this. Neck is unreal right now.
There's one thing that paiN have, and it's a gluttony of talent with entries, and Neck is one of those players who can open up that space when he's feeling it, and he is absolutely feeling it right now on this T side. That's 3-4 times when he's gotten the opener, and again on the A site, right towards Arch. So, excuse me, towards bracket. Either way, great job.
Peeking into an op that's positioned on his angle. He's just so quick with those. Such a wealth of experience on Neck is, man.
I mean, everyone hovers around the 20% mark on the paiN side in terms of entry attempts, so it's very even for them. But yeah, it's Neck this time. You're absolutely right. Peeking into the angle against the big green, right, and just makes it look easy and gets paiN back onto the board after a round that was just another disastrous one. There's no way to sugarcoat it for them. paiN should be up to 13 at this point.
Now we see what paiN can do, because this isn't going to be an easy one. They're going to have to fight for this one. They're going to have to scrabble in the dust. Brawl. No op for Maluk. Brain broke there.
Yep.
There is an op for Nithon. There's going to be a challenge. Oh, they go fast. They go quick with it. They sense weakness towards the brackets, and they're going to take this space. There's 3 players B early. Maluk at least does find the 1 kill. But what can he do to slow these players down, allow his teammates to come in and help out? His barrel's been spotted. They know he's here. And PKL wants this kill. He wants this frag. He knows he's got Maluk dead to rights, but Amali will rustle him back into his teammate of Nithon instead. Still a man advantage, and make it 2.
Yeah.
As IDK wants no part of this. He's backing away. He does not want this fight, and I suspect paiN will soon follow.
There's no reason. I think paiN is just hoping that someone walks into his crosshair at this point, because with only an incendiary grenade as utility here for Team 1, there's very little path into this A site. And, well, yeah, paiN is just going to hang around here, hope that he can get 1, perhaps more. But at the end of the day, the goal is for him to keep that A1S alive, because the money is very tough for Team 1 now. Honestly, with those, 2 rounds now that paiN have lost, 1 on CT side and 1 here on T side, where Team 1 brought very little into the round and somehow find a victory, I'm surprised that they've been able to maintain their composure and build up a lead here. I think it comes down to just that incredible individual talent they have across the board.
And just the full confidence as well, right? Yeah. I mean, they did have that slow start, but they've battled back into it, and at this point, they've had control this entire second half. Now, that's a real backbreaker. The Eco's presumably going to have to come in here from Team 1. They've got the 2 saved rifles, but do you really want to bet the house around them? Not likely. What do they do? What kind of an investment do they put around these 2 guns? How do they deploy the 2 rifles to maximum effect? They take the time to figure this out. All right, understandably so. Little bit to talk it over. Make sure they're all confident in the plan going forward. Make sure they're all on the same page. Now it's time to turn the page. Let's see if they can't find one of those magical rounds once more. They're stolen some of these away. It happened before in this half, John. Could it happen again?
I wouldn't write it off, that's for sure. 1:45 on the clock here, 24th round overall, and IDK with the half-ball boost takes down PKL, but a lot of damage taken as a result of that boost. Basic gets caught off for 20, and IDK down to 49. Nekus comes around the corner, and again, for I think the 3rd, 4th time towards the A site, finds Maluk on the entry. Now he's got a lot of players to deal with. He does have the support of 1 coming into the apartment, so it'll be critical here. And Bigu finds himself a 2K onto Exness, and paiN TRK gets the headshot though onto Bigu.
Oh!
And gets a 3rd on Nithon again. Things falling apart for paiN, Mike, against the limited buy-up of Team 1, and it's all up to Hard Zhao, who technically has more HP on his person than both TRK and IDK combined, but this one's not going to be easy with the bomb out in the open.
Just a P250, and he's found 3 kills off of it. Now they've got a crossfire on the bomb. Oh, he's going to just take the shot, stand in the flames. TRK's a dead man. But look at the time, 45 seconds. Hard Zhao needs this bomb. And IDK knows exactly where he is. IDK going to come in for the fight, going to come in for the hunt. He's seen Hard Zhao. Dancing around each other. It's going to be hard, Zhao, to pull paiN out of the flames. Nearly a second round drop to the pistols, but this time to no avail. What a play with the P250 of all things. So close to glory for Team 1.
I mean, there were a couple of rifles for Team 1, but like you said, Mike, it wasn't the rifles giving them problems. It was the P250. And, I mean, credit, of course, to TRK. I mean, these are some great shots that he pulled off. But at the same time, here's paiN. That has to be a troubling sign here. Although they are up to 14. Right? They're 2 rounds away from securing this one. And Hartzau's going to have to defuse this Molotov soon, and he does. But he takes quite a bit of damage. Then a nade gets him for a little bit more, down to 39 here. paiN don't really gain much space up Banana, but now that Team 1 has expended a lot of their utility, they seem content to back off a little bit for the time being. paiN are spread out across the map, still have not committed the bomb to either site, as it's waiting at the bottom of T-ramp.
He spotted them. Let's go back in for the peek. Oh, and the timing's not with him. Nighthon hits that. He's gotten quicker as the game's gone on, and that's a big return. A big Uzera's gotten out of the battle. And they have no idea. Maluk's given up for free, and that's the site lost. Big Uzera's got so much control. He's going to try and get the smoke down there. Blast it, perhaps. Oh, my goodness. TRK gets away with one there. Gets away with the kill. Gets away with keeping this from getting out of control.
Mike. Yeah, this is a tough situation though for paiN, for Team 1, excuse me, because they only have 1 player left on B, and the utilities coming on forward. IDK with the A1S could do some damage here if they don't clear, and they don't. He gets one. Luckily, PKL flicks around to get the headshot, but still, numbers are even very viable for Team 1. Another wicked shot from the IGL, who's racked up 11 here, 2 on the round, and TRK is the last one with only 41 HP to try and clutch this out for Team 1. And
oh, no! What a shot for PKL! Only had the chance for 1 bullet, John. Only had a chance for 1 while he burned. He knew he was dead to that Molotov, but he chose to take TRK along with him.
Yeah, a wicked shot from PKL on the round that they needed from him to clutch it out with the 3K, 15-10 in favor of paiN. They have 5 opportunities to close this one out, and and they're probably breathing a sigh of relief that they've gotten this one, given how disastrous this thing started off. But it's not done yet. The 16th is the hardest to find, and TRK is going to spray down Hartzau with the FAMAS. That said, Nikiz again opening frag for his squad. XNS is victim this time. Big is going to get the follow-up easily as Maluk is looking the wrong way. And now this A site is extremely vulnerable. Only paiN left on it with the MP9. He's getting reinforcements soon. TRK coming into library. And I mean, but paiN has so much presence here that they can even rotate back to the B site and find it. Oof, that's going to hurt a little bit, but paiN takes more damage than he delivers.
paiN is going looking. He's going looking right into the crosshair of Big Uzera. It's down to just 2 to try and hang on to this map, to try and keep paiN here on Inferno, and they've got no interest in staying. They've already punched their tickets through the necks. They're already ready for a tour of Ancient, and they just need 1 more kill to secure it. 45 seconds. That bomb has plenty of time to go down. And IDK, the newest addition to the squad, doesn't